foremost, give all praise, honor, and glory.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
And double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And peace and salutation to Achion to the elect that are scattered across the four corners of this earth, preaching the truth of faith and sincerity. And we're the Hebrew Israelites. Come out here week in and week out. You know, the prophesied the downfall of Babylon the Great, which is America in the scriptures. Right? Which is ruled by Esau Edom, the so-called white man, which is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Right? And we know that he's the devil because of his track record. Right? Like even today, you know, growing up with always going to the PayPal rules. You had the PayPal rule called the Romanus Pontifex. Right? Which basically that was Pope Nicholas V. Pope Nicholas V, he basically endorsed King Alfonso. I mean, he was also the fifth, right? So basically, anything that's under, they call it Cape Baja, it's like the west coast of Africa. Anything underneath that, they were able to come in there and conquer those lands. And you know, Jacob was in there. They basically told them they could come in and conquer all non-Christians, right? And anything that they owned, right? Anything that was there, they were able to take that and put us in perpetual slavery, basically. Right? And so you start with Revelation 13 and 7. Right? Because it was all ordained of the Most High, you know, for us to come on this side of the world. Right?
Revelation chapter 13 and verse 7. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them, and power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations.
Right, because you go, Revelation 13 is basically going into the beast. Right? It's going into the beast. It's going into NATO and the EU. Right? That ancient Roman system coming back, you know, today. Right? But it said it was given unto him to make war with the saints. Who are the saints? The Israelites.
That reminds me of in Job 9:24 when it says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Revelation 6, he was given the grace for to do these things, man.
Right, that whole thing was the beginning stages of the slave trade. Right? It was you know, other moves that was made, right? But ultimately, you know, that was the beginning of it.
This is Psalms 50 and verse 5. It says, gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice.
Right, you know the ones who made a covenant with the Heavenly Father are the Israelites. Right, going back to the book of Exodus with Moses. That's the 24th chapter. Excuse me. All right? So you got it? Yeah. All right. What we got?
All right, this is Exodus 24 and verse 6. It says, and Moses took half of the blood, put it in the basket, and half of the blood he sprinkled onto the altar. And he took the book of the covenant and read in the audience of the people, and they said, all that the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua has said, we will do and be obedient. This is Exodus 24 and 5. And he sent young men of the children of Israel, which offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings.
So we know that it's talking about Israel right now.
Unto the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And Moses took half of the blood and put it in basins, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar. And he took the book of the covenant and read it in the audience of the people, and they said, all that the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua has said, we will do.
So this is the Israelites basically entering into that agreement. That's why Moses was doing the blood, right? And all of that. Paul talked about that. Yeah. Basically, the testament is not enforced until blood be shed. So we enter into that covenant, and That's what Psalms 50 and 5 was talking about. So we are those saints. That's in Revelation 13.
But Adam said, temple is a force since they died. But you need blood.
This Revelation 13 and verse 8. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him. Revelation 13 and 7. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations.
Right? So power was given him. By whom? The Most High. So the Most High ordained this man to do what he did. Right? And Paul spoke about it had to be a falling away. And we ultimately fell away as a people, losing our heritage when he came over here, right, to the Americas. Right? And we got everything stripped from us.
But this is this Job chapter 9. This Job chapter 9 and verse 24. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
So the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Now who is the wicked? Esau Edom. We got another conversation. Right? Because Esau Edom is the wicked. Right? Because nobody compares to this man when it comes to wickedness. And he outdoes everybody. It's like when you go into like a little arcade game and they have basically people that got the highest scores. Right? Esau way at the fucking top. Ain't nobody close to him. Right? And he beat his own flow every day. Why is this? Hey, because in Psalms, what, 60, 64? Where they say that they make a diligence search. They spend all this money on researching, different type of things to bring into the earth, doing all types of experiments, right, and wickedness. And Micah 2 said what they do because it's in the power of their hands. Right? So for a short period of time, the Most High is basically with him. Right? Until he sent Yahweh shot back.
It says, I think it's in Job 2 as well, not Job chapter 2, but Job as well. How it says, Proverbs. The Most High have created all things for himself, even the wicked for the day of evil. Oh, Romans 9, Romans the 9th chapter. How those vessels of wrath fitted for destruction. You saw those vessels of wrath when you go into the word fitted, for example. Brothers got garments, want to get fitted, get clothes fitted. Well, tailor-made, like they say today, tailor-made. Right? Well, Esau, he's tailor-made what? To play the part of the wicked on earth. And so that's what we see. He's tailor-made to be the ruler to be over Babylon the Great, as it said in prophecy. Man, everything goes back to him. This is going to be the last rulership. It's written in prophecy that Yahweh shall go come back to Edomite rule kingdom. So these things were set up specifically for him to do in these last days that we brought down.
So fitted to you, that means you fit it perfectly. And wickedness fit this man perfectly. Well, I think he even said that in the scripture. The wickedness comes from the
This is Romans 9 and 21. It says, have not the power of the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another. This is Romans 9 and 13. It says, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. What shall we say then?
It's going to Jacob and Esau. And the Most High is exemplifying that hate that he has for Esau. Right? So-called white race. Right? And he don't just hate them for no reason. Right? We got many things we can go into. And he has done. Many treaties that he has broken. Right? Gad and Reuben taking over this land, shedding blood. The things that just touch it and get away with it. Right? But the Most High brought him upon us, but the Most High is going to punish him for coming upon us. Right? And he's going to exterminate him for doing it. Right? So him even putting his hands on him was the beginning of his downfall.
Romans 9 and 13, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with the Most High? God forbid.
So is there unrighteousness with the Most High? People like, how the Most High, how can he hate somebody? The Most High can't hate. Right? Well, and he just said I hated Esau. So is there unrighteousness with the Most High? Because the Most High can't be unrighteous. Right? Everything the Most High does is justified. And it's going to go into it on how that he's the creator of all things. So you can't say that to the Most High.
It says, for he said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion.
Right? So the Most High basically, he do whatever the hell he want to do. He's the Most High. He's the highest. There's nobody over him. In Isaiah, what, the 41st chapter, speaks about there ain't no counselor with the Most High. When the Most High making his decisions, he's making it alone. Right? He don't need to come together with a group of men. You know, what should I do? You know, in this situation and this and that. Now he already know what he's gonna do. Right? He just get the angels and everything to carry him out.
Isaiah 44 and 6. Thus saith Yahweh, the King of Israel and his Redeemer, the Lord Yahweh of hosts. I am the first and the last, and besides me, there is no God.
Right? So there is no God besides the Heavenly Father. Despite all of the gods that you see these people worshiping, they do not exist. Right? The book of that I think that Psalm, that all of the gods of the nations are idols. Right? So they're nothing but idols that was crafted by men. It's all just a money scheme. That's why when you go into the book of Acts, you get involved. He was out there teaching Yahushua, right? When you had the man, you know, that was making the shrines, he was like Diana. That shrine, man. He was like, right? He said, hey, look, man, this dude gonna mess up our money. All right? He out here preaching this Yahushua, and we gotta do something. But it was all just a money thing. You see? But hey, just like I said, there was no God with me.
It says, and who as I shall call and shall declare it, and set it in order for me. Since I appointed the ancient people and the things that are coming and shall come, then let them show this unto me. Then let them show unto them. Fear ye not, neither be afraid.
Right. So if these other idols are real, let them show you any type of prophecy that's going to happen. See, because the Most High declared plainly and boldly what's going to happen. And these things are coming to pass. All right, that's why this is a living book. Habakkuk said, hey, don't tarry, wait for it, because hey, it's going to come, bro. It's going to happen. Right. It's going to happen. Right? But you can't go in any different religions and get any type of prophecy. That's why with Isaiah 34:16 speaks about that none shall want to remain. Right? You can't compare any book with this book. You can't try to mix and match verses out of the Quran and come with and link it up with this and that. The Bible stands alone, you know, in everything. Right? All right.
It says, verse 8, fear ye not, neither be afraid. Have not I told thee from that time, and have declared it? Ye are even my witness. Is there a God besides me? Yeah, there is no God. I know not any.
Right. So the Most High said he don't know no other God. So how these other people worshiping these different gods? The Most High himself said he don't know no other gods. He said he's been here from the beginning, the ancient of days. Right? Before all of us was even created. Like I said, I don't know no other gods. Right? That's why in Jeremiah 2, he said, my people have committed evils. They have forsaken me the fountains of the living waters, right? And here in the Mount Cistern, there's no water. And these other religions ain't got no truth, right? But that was it on that. So, what scripture you have?
73 and verse 6. Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment.
So pride and violence, covers them as a garment. Hey, because the truth said you had a, robe of righteousness, this and that. But hey, he clothed with wickedness, right? And this is what he wears daily. You see, Yahweh said, unless you be found naked, he never gonna be clothed. He constantly clothed. That's why I said, never trust thy enemy.
It goes on to.
Is that the point, though?
Yeah, that's the point.
Okay, we go back here.
This is Romans 9 and 16. So then is it not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of the Most High that showeth mercy.
Right, because ultimately you just got to be chosen for the Most High, right? Show that mercy upon you and to say, to show favor upon you. There's nothing you can really do, right? They can change the Most High's mind if he already got particular judgment set out for you. Right? That's why I said Jacob and Esau, he says, having not been born, right? Their lots were already chosen. And Jacob and Esau couldn't do nothing to change it. Right? They were just simply born into it.
It says, for the scripture said unto Pharaoh, even for the same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee,
Right?
that my name might be declared throughout all the earth.
Right? So he said, hey, this is Paul speaking on what happened to Egypt. Right? He's speaking about how that the Most High raised up Pharaoh, the Egyptians, right, which was a great kingdom. He raised them up to be that great, right? Using Joseph. You see, they came up to be a powerful nation, right? And having us in slavery to build up their kingdom and further, further their kingdom, right? But the Most High did it just so he could take them down. And where we at now, why is he mentioning Pharaoh? All the way in Romans. Because right, he was just going to Jacob and Esau. So Esau is like an unto Pharaoh. Revelation 11:8.
Revelation chapter 11 and verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also Allah was crucified.
Right, so it says their dead bodies shall lie in that great city. Right, talking about Babylon the Great. Right, talking about Babylon the Great, which is America, right? Because we were spiritually dead by not having the truth, by not having Yahweh within us. Because what Yahweh said, he's the life. So we didn't have Yahweh, which is the life. And what that made us? It made us dead. Right? Right, 21:16, right? Dead from the neck up, spiritually. Right? Beginning in mission being in Egypt, right? Which is spiritually Egypt, Sodom and Egypt. Right? We already know why Sodom was mission in Egypt. Why? Because in Egypt, all of the tribes were in captivity, right in Egypt. And we are back here again, in this spiritual Egypt. You see? And this place is just a mixture of kingdoms put into one, right? But more so, Rome stands out. But it's mentioned in spiritual Egypt, so if this is spiritual Egypt, what does that mean Esau if he rules this place? It makes him Pharaoh.
This is Joel 3 and 19. Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness.
Right, so it said Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness. Now, why is the mentioning them together like that? Just like Revelation said, now he said Revelation, and this is spiritual Egypt. Right? So, when Paul is referring to Pharaoh, he's basically, talking about Esau right now. He's using that to talk about Esau.
I said another point that brother made is that one example of how America is that spiritual Egypt is because this is the only place other than the ancient Egypt that was oppressed together. Because after that, the other kingdom went off into the Assyrian captivity, came over into America, and then eventually Nebuchadnezzar and Babylon came to take down the southern kingdom. Right, northern kingdom went first. We never been back together except for over here in America. Just like it says in Jeremiah, I had it, but we ain't got to read it, make it bad. It says the children of Israel and Judah were oppressed together. Because there's a good point in that, because it tells you what it was oppressed together at. It says Babylon. Now again, every kingdom that rules rule, like we got Babylon of old, who was the king, Nebuchadnezzar, right? When she was in Assyria, then you had the Persian and the Medes. You had Cyrus the Persian, and Darius the Mede, Alexander the Greek, when the Greeks ruled. So who ruled Babylon the Great? What nation? So now, since we know it's Babylon, I'm going to talk to us about going into what nation is over there. That's Esau Edom, man. He tied to it at what, Psalms 130, what that is, 139, 137, when they linked Esau, the daughter of Babylon. All right?
In Revelation 17, going into the beast, the war, the mystery of Babylon. All right? If you were talking about ancient Babylon, why is it mystery?
Another one, Isaiah 34. When the Lord said, my sword shall be bathed in heaven, it shall come down upon Idumea. This is going to be the great place of that judgment. So this that Babylon the Lord was talking about, man.
Speaking on the spiritual Egypt, also, when you look at the dollar, you got the pyramid behind the dollar. There's all signs showing that this is going to be the modern day Egypt, man. Just to throw that out there, one side.
You got the obliques, you got the Washington DC, you got the obelisks, right? The little, I ain't never really out too much, right? Obliques. Yeah, but yeah, they got that shit from Egypt.
Right there in San Jacinto, in LaPorte.
This is Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 33. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together.
Right, so we were oppressed together, back in Egypt. And then when we were separated, like the brothers alluded to, right, we were in slavery, right, under, those two different nations. Right, we were separated from that, the Babylonians, and the Assyrians, you see, which they, Nebuchadnezzar, right, he was under Syria, but, those were different kingdoms, and we've been separated ever since, but now we are back together, right, over here in America. Right? Oh, even Deuteronomy 28:16. We were speaking about Egypt. He said we shall go into Egypt again. That was in Deuteronomy. We had just left out of Egypt. Right? So what account have we ever went back into Egypt as a whole, as a nation on ships? Right? It never happened. But it came over here. Right?
Now in 2 Ezra 13, when the northern kingdom went to Ahasuerus, that's another land. Right? That's the same land Moses was talking about in Deuteronomy 29. But when you go towards the end of that chapter, because he gave them the description on the northern kingdom being in that other land, and then towards the end, he was going to tell the southern kingdom eventually was going to go over there. Well, that's this same place that they still being oppressed together. Another one, Hosea 1. And that place said unto us, again, the children of God is the same place. When it says, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast and refused to let them go.
So we in Babylon, right? You saw ruling this. It said they refused to let them go. And when Moses went to Pharaoh, Moses and Aaron, he said, hey, let my people go. Basically, Pharaoh was like, hell no. Right? And Esau not letting us go. He would have been did that. Right? But the same thing is happening all over again with this future Egypt. Right? So that's why the Most High, when he said, I'm going to send plagues upon Egypt again. Right? The Most High got to send the plagues upon this place. Right? To shake this place up. To shake him up. It's like he did Pharaoh when he hardened his heart. Right? He hardened Esau's heart. They seen the chariots the Most High showing himself. But that man he's still full of pride. Right? And he going to keep that on him. Until Yahweh Shah come back. So he going to make them fight with Yahweh Shah. Even that's a battle that he can't even win. They know that they can't. Right? But he's still full of pride.
It says, their Redeemer is strong. Talking about Yahweh Shah. The Lord of hosts is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause.
They say their Redeemer is strong. But what said Deuteronomy 28:68? Right? That no man shall buy them. Right? Going to redeem. Because no man was going to be able to do it but Yahweh Shah. So he's our Redeemer. He's the one that's going to come and snatch us out of this position. Right? Take us out of the hand of Esau Edom.
People say, well, he's a man too. Right? At first, he humbled himself and came as a regular man, but in Isaiah 47, he said, I shall not lose you as a man. Coming in his true form, man.
He much more than a man now, living forever, like being in the presence of the Heavenly Father. You ain't just no regular man.
He came as a lamb. Now, remember in Revelation, that lamb be mad now. It says the wrath of the lamb. But this is show you what he gonna save Israel and Judah from. Because it says their Redeemer is strong. The Lord of hosts is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause. It says that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon.
Right? Hey, so he said he gonna plead our cause. What's this in Isaiah 8 say? He said, wait ye upon me to the day that I rise up in this. Like, there's nothing that we can do right now physically against this man. And we're gonna be thrown down. What Paul said, this man, hey, he bared not the sword. Hey, anybody trying to come up against this place before Yahweh Shah returns in, hey, he basically signing your blessing to him. That's what, hey, he got the sword and he gonna use it. So you gotta wait till Yahweh Shah gets back because you know that was Isaac, right? You can see they gave him and blessed him with that sword. Right? So he's about to come do battle with him. Revelation 13 said, who can make war with the beast? Well, Daniel 7 said that when Yahweh Shah come back, the beast gonna be given to the flame.
Can we I thought you were coming, sorry.
So Romans 9, in verse 18, it says, therefore have mercy on whom he will have mercy, and on whom he hardened. Thou wilt say then unto me, why doeth he yet find fault?
Right. So why is the Most High finding fault? If he controls everybody's actions, if he make everybody what they are, how can he hate somebody? How can he hate them?
This is Romans 9 and 19. Thou wilt say then unto me, why doeth he yet find fault? For who hath resisted his will?
And nobody resisted the Most High's will. We are all following the lot that the Most High given us. And we are programmed to behave how he wants to behave.
Right? Yeah, so it's saying, you know, basically, the Most High is calling this man, how was his word when he was reading up a few verses?
It says, 18. It's Romans 9 and 18. Therefore have he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and on whom he harden it.
No, before that, it speaks about, yeah, right around there.
Okay, this is Romans 9 and 17.
No, go up.
16. Romans 9 and 16. So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of the Most High that showeth mercy.
Oh, yeah, when you talk about who the Lord, who questions the Lord, you know what I'm saying?
This is Romans 9 and 19. Thou wilt say then unto me, why doeth he yet find fault? For who hath resisted his will?
Right, so it's saying, you know, how can the Most High fault Esau if he made him wicked? That's right. You know, that's what it's saying. But they don't understand. You have to go all the way back and know who Esau is. Because Esau goes back to Cain. He bears that mark of Cain. And the heavenly Father, he was all set up in the spirit of the first place. But Esau was wicked. Somebody had to be the wicked. Because Adam and Eve ate of that fruit. So now we had to learn good and evil. So evil had to come in the earth. Esau was that vessel. But the Most High told him, if thou doest well, will thou not be accepted? And he took that and went and murdered his brother. So no, he don't have no out no more. That would have been his only out. But eventually he still would have had to play his role. But read it one more time.
This is Romans 9 and 19. Thou wilt say then unto me, why doeth he yet find fault?
Right, how you gonna fall? Esau, right, because he's a murderous, slanderous son of a fucking bitch. That's why. And he is to be blamed. All right, go ahead, Mom.
He said, for who have resisted his will? Nay, but, O man, who art thou that repliest against the Most High? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Have not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor?
That same lump. Adam was the lump. Was reincarnated back as Isaac. And Isaac was the lump. And the same lump came for good and evil. You got it. That's you got to remember too, there was only two nations given the promise of the whole earth. It was Jacob and Esau. That's in Genesis 27. They was given the same things. It's really Isaac showed mercy for the sake of prophecy, of course, you know. But he gave Esau the same thing as Jacob, but it was a difference. It was an extra thing added to Esau. He said, but you're going to get yours by the sword. He said, you're going to get yours by the sword. And his will be temporary. Mm-hmm. Ours is permanent. And then, so the thing is, and what the scriptures say, Sirach 10, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, riches, got by the sea is the way he got it, because he had to get it, but look how he came up. So because of how you did it, it was promised to you, but how he did it though. Murdered, took resources, bombed people, used that sword. The brother just said he bore it not in vain. He played the perfect role of the devil in the Bible. So now because you got it this way, the Most High got to take it from you and give it to the people who was given the same blessing, but we going to use it right. We going to apply the law. We going to use it as it's supposed to be used. You know, this Genesis this Genesis chapter 27 and verse 32. And Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, who?
Right, because he thought he just blessed Esau. Jacob came in, you know, and it really his mother helped him do it. Right? You know, he had the little goat skin, he put it on his neck. He said Esau was a little hairy, so, you know, he came in there because Isaac, he was old, so he said he couldn't see them. Right? So he felt them. He was like, you smell just like the field, you smell just like my son Esau. Yeah, so he's like, hey, all right, I'm going to give you a blessing. Whatever. Now Esau coming back in with that bitch, and he wanted to go hunt for it, right? His mama already cooked it up how he liked it, right? He gave it to him, That's why I thought that was him. But it's Esau coming in right now.
So I guess that's the answer to why, you know, so-called white people be smelling like dog and shit. Because they do be having an house, especially when they get wet. When they get wet, they smell like, you know, but it says,
Man of the field.
and Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it to me? And I have eaten up all before thou camest and have blessed him. Yeah, and he shall be blessed.
He's like, I ate already. I'm full. And then, first I just blessed. Shit, hey, he truly blessed. The blessing I just ate.
He got nervous. He understood the magnitude of that blessing. That was for the rulership of the world. So he was like, oh shit. Who did I give this blessing to? Man, you know. But yeah, Esau told him, you know, but you got it. And that's spiritual how the Lord had it play out because Esau knew the whole time growing up he had this blessing. So he was settled. That's like today. Psalms 49:11 said that the wicked think their house will continue forever. You know, the rich man and Yahweh said they think they're going to sit back and build back better. But what the Lord said is going to be taken down. Well, just like that,
so-called white man living it up today, just like Esau. He was set on, I got this blessing coming to me, and like that it was gone. And we planned it out. That's what it is.
Trying to double back. No, bro. You already sold. It's like you sell your birthright, bro. That even like you would know like you first born son. You should look at it here. You should look at the birthright. That's just what. You sold it off. Can't even be a price on it.
It says, and when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father.
Right now he crying and shit. He said, hey, look, man. Hey, the person that came up out of here, bro. Hey, the best I'm supposed to give you. They got it. You see, he basically was like, bro, hey, really nothing to do no more. He started crying. He got it. He sold it. Gotta have another blessing. He's like, you know, all right, look, I got some.
That's why we see Esau characteristics today. You know, it's like the say, for example, the Black Lives Matter. They said Black Lives Matter. They said no, White Lives Matter too. They always want to be included. You know, they try to play the victim that Karen. You know, call the cops that spirit. When that was going their forefather, man. It says, and he said, thy brother came with subtlety and have taken away thy blessing. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times, and he took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing.
You sold it. He leaving out part of the story. He didn't say, look, I sold my birthright to him. That's why it happened like that in the spirit. He gave it up. So it had to happen that way. Right? Because he didn't tell nobody he sold it. So the Most High had to hop in there some way. And that's how he had it happen. Right?
You know, the Most High reason why he didn't catch that when he went hunting. Most High put that spirit of family on him, you know, he was famished. He didn't catch that. So that Jacob then put that thought in Jacob's mind, so he could go in there and get it. You know? He's being a murderous, slanderous bastard. He's 4-4.
Right. It's king, but you finna get that.
Right.
Get that.
It says, and he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants.
Right, you gonna be a servant unto him. Imagine that, bro, because they said Esau was Isaac's favorite son. So imagine you knowing that you the favorite son, and then you go in there and you hear this. See, now your younger brother, right, is gonna be set up over you, which that's what was told to Rebecca anyway. Before they was even born. So everything was just happening according to the scriptures. Right?
And with corn and wine have I sustained him, and what shall I do now unto thee, my son?
Like, listen, I gave him some great blessing. I gave him some great blessing. What can I give you? Right? What else is left? Right? But then he finna explain to him what he's gonna give him.
It says that Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lift up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven.
So this man was going to be he's going to be in control of everything, all of the earth's resources. Right? Anything that had any type of value, Esau was going to have his hand in. that blessing be from the dew of heaven. So this man is gonna be blessed. Right? But it's gonna tell you how.
Yeah, you say the dew of heaven. Esau got the directed energy weapons, which are acronym DEW, and they fire from heaven. But the Most High was talking about rain, but they never got two forms of energy. You know, water and fire. So that goes back to him living by the sword. You know, he weaponizes everything. I mean, everything. You know? But yeah, brother.
And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword shalt thou live.
Right? So by thy sword thou shalt live. Right? Because he was gonna have to take everything by violence. Because Jacob, he was just blessed on him. This is what's coming to you. Right? He didn't have to take everything by violence. But Esau, even when he goes back to Cain, right? The Quayan, which means weapon. Right? So this is how he was gonna get everything. Right? This is why he is how he is today. All the way back to his blessing. And so he's operating in his blessing.
Then you got two ball things. Right? That's why you better know what two ball thing means. Some are regular, right? Right, because Cain means weapon. It will be what today? Listen, a traveling weapon.
You know that how to say he'll keep at home. And then I think it said when you go again, he was the instructor of the weapons. The apostle was the mercenaries, the instructor of weapons.
Or the fight.
And you watch the video, Esau take apart a gun, put it back together. At 7 years old.
And it says, And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing.
Right, so he hated Jacob because of the blessing. So, and that's still carrying on to today. Right? Because they still know it went down. Hey, we just woke up recently and just figured out we're Israelites. And then we Jacob. But they've been doing this. Right? That's why all this hate has been aimed towards us. Right? Psalms 83rd chapter. Right? All our enemies coming together. Right? With a plan to keep us down. They've been doing it. Psalm 83.
Psalms 83, verse 1. It says, Keep not thy silence, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh.
Right, so hold not that peace. The Most High is not holding this peace. Because he got the prophets out here condemning this man and exposing him. Psalms 50 said what? Thou thoughtest that I was such a one as thyself. I will set them in order right before you. And this is us being set in order. Coming back to the law, justice, commandments, right? Receiving that breath of life, right? You know, operating in wisdom. Something they ain't never seen. Right? Back then they seen it, but now we coming back into that glory. Right? So that's why they trembling. And they're afraid.
Psalms 83 and 2. The Lord thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
They that hate thee have lifted up the head. Right? And that goes into all these different nations. All of the heathens, right? They hate the Most High. And they lifted up the head, right? Which goes into pride by coming together and forming these plans. You see? And And the Most High seen all of that. Ain't nobody going to sleep. Obadiah said, basically everybody going to drink of that cup. Because we have to drink of it. Jeremiah said, "What?"
It says they have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden one.
Right? Taking crafty counsel against our people. Right? So they come together and they have certain meetings against us. How to further keep us destroyed. Right? This is something that's constantly being talked about. They don't never let up off of that. Everything is sent and put on TV, through the media, through the music, to destroy us and our communities. It's all planned there, by design. Right? That's why it's called the project. Right? A project is an experiment. Right? It's like brothers have been talking about, you know, that movie, They Come on Top of it. Right? Experiments. It says, it's not you know, this is you know, because the whole world, right, don't acknowledge this as the people of the Most High. Because of their plans in their lives, right? Because to have us not be the people, you have to set somebody up to be the people or to try to represent us. And that's why you got the small ants, right? The ish people. You see? Because you can't just, because you got to, he told a lie, right? When you tell a lie, you know the truth. You see? So you can't just say that somebody not the Israelites or we not the people. You're going to have to set somebody up. And I was there and say, no, these are the. But it was just crafty counsel. Right?
It says they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Right, so they try to come together with all their power and all their might to keep this back from us. Right? No, we could not figure out about being Israelites. That's why when us waking up and proclaiming to be Israelites, right, we get so much traction. Everybody want to come up against us. Everybody want to debate the Hebrew Israelites. Everybody want to make videos. Hey, because this is the truth. Because if we was out here saying, you know, we was Muslims, we was out here talking about Allah and this and that, bro, we wouldn't be getting that much attention. That's right. Well, how should I say? If I be lifted up, I shall draw all men unto me. All right, so this is the truth right here. That's why they're scared, because they didn't reveal it. So they thought if we keep it coming, they can never figure it out. But the Most High has something else, you know, for them.
This Philippians chapter 1 is the brother wanting to us waking up, pushing this gospel. How to us is good news, but when our enemies hear it, it's a fearful thing to them because they know what time it is. And again, we don't know as far as all the history because we don't have those hidden, you know, letters and records from the past kingdoms. We just know what they put on History Channel, and we can find on Amazon books. But Esau know way more than us, so they know exactly who we are, man. But real quick, this Philippians, not just Esau, but all Israel.
I say this too, we don't need these goddamn books. Right. Or we got the Holy Spirit, according to Amos 3:6. It speaks about the Most High revealing his secrets to his servants, the prophets. His hate by birth, you know, he's revealing it through the Spirit and through tried and tested means. And that, you know, and that's the apostle. That's the apostle. Giving out the secrets for free. Like the scriptures say, why spend your money for that which is not great? When you get what you need for free. You see? Yeah. Everything you was gonna get it, but they didn't factor in, as they always fuck up, just as Esau fucked up, didn't factor in the spirit. Alright? Because he's carnal. Well, go ahead, bro.
That's why I said it's cool. They only said that because in Revelation 11, you know how it says they didn't bother to put us in the graves? Right, they didn't have to do it for us. And in Ezekiel 37, we talk about the same thing because the Most High said, but I'm going to bury them, put you in the grave. I'm going to take you out the grave. I'm going to take you out the grave so these heathens ain't have to do it for us. They ain't have to teach us. They ain't have to teach us this in school. We are. In Ezekiel 37, the Most High said he was going to do it by the Spirit, man. You know?
And what they said about Yahweh, I know this man let us haven't ever learned what Yahweh told Peter, hey, flesh and blood had not revealed unto thee, but Father haven't given unto you.
Right? And then if you think about the scriptures, it says, none shall want her mate.
Philippians 1:27. Only let your conversation be as it becometh the gospel of Mashiach, that whether I come and see you or else be absent, I may hear of your affairs, that ye stand fast in one spirit and one mind, striving together for the faith of the gospel. So it's talking about this truth, right? That is the point. It says, so as we preaching the gospel, and in nothing be terrified by your adversaries. So it says that's we out here on the highways and hedges. You know, it said what we stood in front of the face of those people ain't sure know who afflicted us. So we shouldn't be afraid of that. We shouldn't be afraid of Jake. You know, our forehead on against theirs. We know we gonna have problems, but the Lord said our adversaries are pushing this gospel. And nothing terrified by your adversaries is the reason, which is to them a evident token of perdition, but to you of salvation and that of the Most High. So this gospel going out, it's a clear sign to them that they're going to be destroyed. But for us, it's an evident token that we about to be saved by the Most High. So that's why they fear it, man.
We shouldn't even be worried about what Esau going to do. He worried about us. He worried about what we going to do. We going to get in the power. Right? So you should fear us more than we fear him. Right? Hey, I always try to say, hey, fear not him that can kill the body, and after that have no more than he can do. Right? But hey, in the kingdom, when we get that power, we're gonna be able to do so much unto this dude. He only get one time. Right? We got it until, you know, that 1,000 years till he be destroyed. Right? And we can keep on trusting his ass. So he doesn't do what he do, bro.
Then too, that just goes to show that he knows the truth, and that's why he none of somebody's scared, because he says out here and he know that the kingdom is coming to him.
And then when the Most High is going back into the earth. Right? They're like, shit, something about to happen. Calling him the Most High, nothing happened. He's free by his elect, you know, calling us and praying unto him, right? To avenge them. Shall he not avenge him speedily?
This Psalm 33 and 5, it says, for they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee.
Right, so all these nations came together, hey, just for us, just to put us down. That's why they set up, all these different nations are in our neighborhood making money off of it. They all they know that they can come in our neighborhood and come up. You ain't got to do no marketing. You ain't got to run no ads. Just set up in their neighborhood because they need to come and get their hair. They need to go get their nails done. Right? You got the niggas, they need to go get their jewelry. Right? They ain't finna stop. Right? Bro, everything that you need to destroy you, bro, is in our neighborhood.
Liquor store, beauty supply, the church,
all
everything.
in a small little radius, bro. Right?
Double blocks from each other.
Corner stores were the biggest killers, right? Right. Everybody Jacob is not only the food, but the red 40 and the yellow 40. Bro, they get the cigarettes, the Rillos, and they killing themselves out of everything in there. They pretty much killing themselves with it, man.
Right, because I had stopped by the store, like a family store, just getting a tea. I like to drink that unsweetened leaf tea. In the hood, hey man, you ain't getting that. It's sweet, extra sweet. That's how you find it. It's like, damn, I'm trying to say, hey,
And then on the side of it is Wild Irish Rose. Right, and they empty 2020.
And people that you crazy though, like that, I'll do a drink or something. I look at it, and I keep a shit in there. Right. They're like, so? Alright, you got it. That's why you gonna end up, in the hospital.
All the places where we watch the movie, that's where the secret interest is. They focus on Tyrone, it was at the church, the corner store, the club, trap house. You know, that's what the hidden interest is. Yeah, that was. Oh, you didn't see the breakdown? It was talking about programming Jake Mind. Those are all places where the programming go down. You know?
I didn't think about the secret door part. Yeah, I watched the video.
Make a point. What you speaking about, all organizations come from the hood and they give.
Oh, in the chicken spot. wasn't it one in the chicken spot?
I think they were only watching on the camera.
Yeah.
Oh, they went to the back.
Yeah, they were on that camera.
What the brother was speaking on, I just want to make a point. That was in Luke chapter 16 when they came to the dogs, which is Revelation came with the sword. The Israelites, that's what they were going into. I just want to throw that out. The parable going into Lazarus and the rich man. This is Revelations 11 and 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified.
So we're going back, Revelation 11 and 8, right? Spiritual Egypt, right? While our Lord was crucified, right? Talking about X'd out, basically how the Lord is taught and the image that's portrayed of him, everything that's about him, right? It's the complete opposite.
Sorry.
He saw and lifted up himself, you know, and made, you know, the angels and the Most High and our Lord his color. That's why Revelation 13 speaks about that he blasphemed them, you know, in heaven. Right? Going to the Renaissance, and Renaissance was the rebirth. Right? We both of him coming into power. Right? Iconoclasm, you know, these faces and images. Hey, so this man has done a lot, bro. He's done a lot. And it's time for him to be a judgment. It's called Cain, a fugitive in the labor market. Hey, he's about to get caught.
Revelations 11 and 9. And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves.
Yeah, that's what the brother was talking about. Our dead bodies being put in graves is a representation of us finding out who we are as a people. All right, they wouldn't say, oh, y'all the Hebrew Israelites that the scriptures speak of. The same people that Moses brought across the Red Sea or the Gulf of Aqaba. How you pronounce it?
Gulf of Suez? Is it the Gulf of Suez?
Suez?
Yeah, Suez Canal.
Suez. All right, what? They're the same people. All right, nobody told us that. Instead, they went along with that conspiracy as well as read this Psalm 83. So, what you say now? Psalm. Yeah.
Revelation chapter 11 verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of that great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt.
Right. America's the great city. Go ahead.
Where also our Lord was crucified.
Right. Crucified through doctrine, ideology, and philosophy. Ultimately, Christianity. Christianity is the crossing out of the outside and the introduction of sweet Jesus. All right, that's a crucifixion. In ancient Rome, he was physically crucified. In the revised Roman Empire, he was spiritually or symbolically crucified by giving you lies, by giving you indoctrination. Go ahead.
Verse 9. And they of the peoples and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves.
Well, them 3 days and a half represent centuries. Each day for a century. So it was 3.5 centuries that pretty much began when the Negroes came over here in boats. We know that Negroes have been coming over here in slavery since the 1500s, but the bulk of the Negroes came over here in 1619. And from the time that this truth went out around 1970, gives you that 3 days and a half. All right, and that whole time still to this day, even as we are coming back to the realization and the knowledge of who we are as the children of Israel, nobody will come out and say, yeah, that's right, these are people. You know, you'll have one here, one there, stroll through and say, yeah, that's right, that's right. But it won't be no grand announcement. It won't be no major publication, you know, or no publishing that. You know, them guys that's out there, y'all see them the Hebrew Israelites. Leave them alone. Let them teach. All right? Because what's going to happen, we're going to teach anyway. Because this is not of us. And it's not of them. It's of he who sits high and looks low, as they say in the church. You know? But go ahead,
Verse 10. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry.
Right, they rejoice. So they say, yeah, man, we can make a killing. All right? And that's why people flock to America. All right? Yeah, part of it, they, you know, back in the day, they believed that the streets were paved with gold. But if it was, it would have been off the sweat, blood, and tears of the children of Israel. All right? They were promised a piece of us. Like the brother said, you can set up. You don't see them set up in River Oaks talking about Elam, Ishmael, and Moab. You don't see they mom and pop, they nickel and dime stores in Esau's prominent neighborhood. They are always in our neighborhood. Yeah, that's by policy. All right? That's systematic oppression. That a nigga say, oh, you can't complain, you got victim mentality. Yeah, I'm a motherfucking victim. Right. How you tell me I'm a victim, but I can't, you know, complain about it? I'm supposed to love being oppressed. I'm supposed to enjoy getting ripped off. You know? I'm supposed to be ecstatic because I got to go to goddamn work every day. That's right. Yeah, I should just be happy. Oh, there's opportunity out there for everybody. All right. Well, there's gonna be opportunity for you to eat a missile too. All right. You know? So we go back to that.
They love to say, hey, you preaching hate. So, but what about the motherfuckers that did it to us? You know, how you gonna say I'm preaching hate when I'm bringing out what I had to go through on a daily basis, what my ancestors had to go through? How am I preaching hate? You know, and that's all people as well. Just as stupid as a motherfucker.
That's right. If they did it, and we bring it to light, why wouldn't you know, look at the man who Jake will do that. Jake will see slavery and all the oppression that we saw done right under the rug, pick that rug up, the dirt in it, and throw it away. They don't want to, you know, look at Esau in no false light, you know. But let a nigga step on your shoes, you'll go to the grave with that hatred and that anger. It doesn't make sense.
Not at all.
Go ahead, Ike.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7. Surely oppression, making a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart.
That's right. And everybody should be upset as a Hebrew Israelite. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and you Native Americans, predominantly, you should be upset because wherever you at, I don't care what corner of the globe that you're in, you're under the oppression of this goddamn devil. Right. And it should thoroughly upset you to the point where you come out and sign cry for all the abominations that this devil has done. But all people, their hearts are destroyed. So he starts giving jobs. He'll give them a raise here, you know, 50 cents here, $1 there, just nickel and dime you. He starts go get a raise, he getting $5, $10 a pop. Trust me. You know?
And if I can say, plus bonuses.
Yeah, he give you a bonus and stuff, Christmas roll around, you get a ham or a turkey. That destroy a nigga heart. You know? That little shit. That destroy a nigga heart.
They cut your own so they get big bonuses at the end.
Yeah.
They cut your own to the city.
You saying something, Noah?
As far as like our people being happy about the crumbs that Esau, their enemy, giving them. Another big stumbling block to Jacob in the 60s was that right to vote. So when they got the right to vote,
Oh, the vote. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jake like, oh, we finally achieving equality and a foothold in society, okay, because we have now the right to vote. And that has done nothing for our people.
What was that, 1964? That passed that. But yeah, man just won't stop voting. You let the nigga vote, he won't stop voting. You know, they give you the most degenerate people. They put the most degenerate people before you. And you still go to the polls talking about the lesser of two evils. You know? But if you vote for evil in any capacity, that makes you a company to that evil. Right? It's ridiculous. But hey, that's what you come through. Yuri Bezmenov, well, before he died, he was an ex-Soviet, what they call it? He was an agent, a spy. They call him no, he wasn't that. A subversive agent. Meaning he was a spy, but that's the term. And he defected. But he said the way that you demoralize a population is 4 steps. And to destabilize a country, you demoralize it. It's 4 steps. We probably could pull it up. I know it's demoralized. We pull up Yuri Bezmenov. Y-U-R-I. B-E-Z. M-E-Z. M-E-Z. The name is for it. Pull up the 4 steps to brainwash a nation. So if you want to brainwash a nation, there's 4 steps you have to do. Demoralization, destabilization, crisis, normalization. Okay, so the brother said that was it. You see it?
I got it right here.
Go ahead, brother.
Yep.
What?
Just name them off real quick. Demoralize a nation, destabilization, crisis, and normalization.
So I finally got it. But yeah. So step 1 out.
Demoralize a nation.
Demoralize. Okay? And this began going back to the 60s. The brother mentioned the 60s and the 70s with the introduction of that was the whole Playboy and Disney and all of that shit. That was for. Disney put on that front as a wholesome, family-oriented type of conglomerate or whatever. But we know now, behind the whole scenes, this whole time they're pushing sorcery, witchcraft, and sex. Sex magic. So was Hugh Hefner, he was set up with Playboy. Then you had Penthouse, Larry, what's his name? They did a movie about him. What was his name? Got taken to the boat. Well, everybody in America. And a lot of things began to unravel then. And then what was the second step? Stabilization. And they do that through policy. That was the war on terror, was a destabilization. All right? War on drugs. Destabilization. Now that happened in our neighborhoods. The war on drugs. When they brought crack in with the 80s. That was an epidemic right there. A pandemic really, because that took all America by storm. From country towns like Little Rock to LA and all of the big cities, crack was king back then. Well, that destabilized neighborhoods when you had whole families, you had fathers in the house. Apostle Hart did a video last week talking about how, that Claudine was bullshit because you had a lot of Jake was still in the house. crack came and also heroin and like up in New York turned neighborhoods into war zones. That's a destabilization. Fathers went to jail, got murdered, or turned crackhead. I grew up in a little small town. We had, and it was right next to an airport, so crack was readily available, man. I'm talking about in a small country town. Population was 1,000. Flooded. And I see a lot of fathers and stuff, and start selling or using. Going to jail, that busted up the house. I seen that firsthand. I ain't talking about no shit I seen on the movie. I seen that firsthand. From Ames, Texas, up to Dallas, Fort Worth, it was the same shit. And that was a destabilization. and then what was it? Prices?
I had a question real quick. With the taking the dollar off the gold standard, would that go into destabilization?
It would
of
have.
the economy?
It would have, but he was smart enough to back it by oil.
Okay,
and that gave it the stability, because you had nations was coming to America wanting their gold. So Nixon had to do something, so he introduced the petrodollar, so that kept things smooth. For a time. Now that time is up. See, we in the crisis. Right now we're in the crisis. All right? With the Pan-Diesel, the solution to the Pan-Diesel, that jump shot. You got all these fires everywhere, which is also destabilization, but that creates a crisis. It's so much going on. We're in the midst of crisis. And what's that last step? Normalization. What are people crying for? We want to return to normal. Well, when that shutdown took place, everybody was crying for normal. And that's the next step. But it ain't gonna look like what you thought. You ain't gonna be in Kansas no more. So what normal is gonna be is 15-minute cities. MOTVs for everyone. Like Oprah said, you get an MOTV. You get an MOTV. You get an MOTV. Everybody get an MOTV, except the men of the law. Right? And Lord willing, they're family. And that's what normal is going to look like. Facial recognition cameras all over the place, up your ass, down your throat, and all that flossing and Jake like to riding, all that's going to be done. Ooh, that's what the 15-minute city is for. What you need a car, nigga, everything you need is right there. What you need a car for? No, you ain't going no across town. No, you ain't finna ride to Dallas, nigga. The scripture say, hold that, go to that in yeah, right. 15.
Yeah, they gotta go to Mardi Gras.
Yeah, you ain't going no Mardi Gras. None of that shit. Essence Festival, no BET Awards, none of that shit. You don't have to have special clearance.
Right.
They ain't giving no clearance for no nigga shit. Well, Lord, we'll be out before they try to set all this, get it good going. But this is what they call normal. Now, I went off on the tangent. Go back where we was at. Go ahead.
2nd Ezra 15 and 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
Right. Because it's going to be technological terrorists implemented, in certain cities, which is more than likely why they burning up certain areas of the U.S. Those areas won't be rebuilt. Just like in California, it's not going to be rebuilt for the average American citizen to go, I want to get a plot of land. They already, that's off limits. You can't purchase that. You can't purchase that land.
It's like my man. The news this morning said that victims in Maui were receiving emails and text messages from real estate investors asking to buy their land.
Right, right. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I had posted that earlier today. Right. So yeah, they're trying to buy it up. And I'll give you one guess who. What'd you say, I
heard that Oprah Winfrey wanted to buy all that land up.
Well, didn't she have some land out there?
She does.
She got a house out there.
I think she just brought, from what I've seen, I don't know how true it is, but she spent like $6 million. She got like, she got quite a bit of land.
They said Will
That's
Smith got
it.
some.
Black Rock. Vanguard. Yeah. That's it. So, yeah, they got, when you look at the FEMA plan, they got no live zones. And so, you know, no occupant zones. They want to get everybody into these cities where they can be monitored. All right.
Oh.
Revelation 11.
No, we do it on that. Go back to Salt Lake. Was it some more?
Most likely, Elder.
All right, go ahead.
You know, like Anthony Stevens said that before, so you know how like a couple years ago they had it to where you can go for a sanctuary city. Look, in Portland, how it was like chaos, people uprising against the police, they defunded the police. Well, that's another place that was being used, will be used to set up one of those cities like that. When they had that derailment in Ohio to get the people to evacuate, that's going to be one of the spots.
So I'm glad you brought that up. You brought something else to mind. What they call it down at the border. What they, you know, in the news and stuff, what's the narrative? They call it a border crisis. You know? So yeah, this multiple crises, or with crises going on right now. Multiple, like your brother saying. You know, these sanctuary cities and all that shit, you know, and really those are death traps. So they to the police, they come by defunding the police. That's straight up anarchy. If you get rid of the police, you asking for anarchy, which creates another crisis. But right, there's so much shit going on right now. And where's the president and the vice president and all this? They no show.
They asked him a question. He said he ain't have no comment.
That was about Maui.
About Maui. He said he have no comment.
Yeah. Well, and where's the vice? Okay. Nowhere to be found. Right. Somewhere giving somebody some beans. You know. Catherine. That's all the fuck she do. Go ahead,
Revelation chapter 11, verse 10. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth.
That's right. Who are those two prophets, brother? Right. So you got Northern Kingdom, Southern Kingdom coming together. All right. So that was it.
And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them.
Right. Just as prophesied in the book of Ezekiel, the dry bones, chapter 37. Most High said, I will put my spirit in them, and they shall live. We went into that last two. Read that again now.
Revelation chapter 11 and verse 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them.
Right. And at midnight, a cry was made. When you read the parable of the 10 virgins. At midnight, a cry was made. All right? And that's going to the same thing, man, around 1970. And this truth just, started to catch fire. Our business. He was the key man. He was instrumental in us having this truth today. And that goes back to Malachi. 4 and 5. Go ahead.
Come. And they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them.
Right, what they scared of, because they know that they oppressed us and done us wrong, and the Most High is getting ready to set us up in great power and authority under His only begotten Son, Yahushua. That's right. So now, you know, like, you've been fucking with somebody for years, just slapping them upside the head, kicking them in the ass, and then all of a sudden they got swole on your ass. You gonna get scared too. So that's what the Heavenly Father gonna do in the spirit, you know. And He's gonna swell us up.
Like you made that point about that midnight that the crowd was made. Like when a woman, when she gets taken up by a man that's not hers, she gotta make she cry out. And the person who was basically trying to do what he's doing to her, whenever she cry out, he get afraid. Because I think Isaiah 19, they say, you know, we should cry out to the Heavenly Father, and He shall send the Savior to come and deliver us. That's why he was afraid. How was shot by
God. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, all right, that's good, brother. Yeah, we read some more in this song, maybe.
Psalms 83 and 5. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee.
All those nations that have came together. All right, this is why you see no representation for us, no advocacy. And none of these meetings, G8, G20, nobody speaks on our behalf to say, you know, hey, when y'all gonna do something for the Negroes in y'all country, you know, telling Esau, you know, when y'all gonna give them a fair shake, when y'all gonna do this and do that. No, they are confederate with each other and keeping us down, all right, oppressing us. Go ahead.
Psalms 83 and 6. The tabernacles of Edom.
First off the bat, Esau, Edom, the Edomites, which you will know predominantly as the so-called white people. And you know Esau spread his seed all over the world. Brother Red, his dwelling shall be in the fatness of the earth. So, you know, he was out there getting it in too, so he mixed among the nations. But predominantly, they are the so-called white people. Go ahead.
The Ishmaelites.
So-called Arabs.
Of Moab.
Well, let's look at Ishmael for a minute. What they do? They'll have all women come to Dubai so they can piss this shit on. You know? Come over here in our neighborhood, sell us old fried chicken and shit. Spoiled rotten meat. You know, they'll fry it up and serve it to them. And they'll give you a malt liquor to wash it down and a pack of Newport. Or a Cool 50 key. You know, they don't, but they're at the same time they smiling and calling you their brother. You know, charging you heavy, you know, same shit being Walmart for $5. They charge them $12, $15. You know.
They say the change because I'll do 60. Make it sound like it's a good deal to you, but that shit ain't even worth it.
You're right. This is even gold. This should even be gold. See, that's them oppressing us. Going back to that love of money. Go ahead, brother.
Moab.
Right, the so-called Chinese. You know, they better than us. They all look down on us. They even taught the northern kingdom to look down on you, the southern kingdom. So they'll come over here with their white skin and think they superior, not understanding that that's a curse. You know, so it's a philosophy, for lack of a better term, that they tell each other in their families to marry up. Meaning to marry dark skin is to marry down. So they say marry up, go get you a white girl. You know, or a white girl. That's marrying up. And then shit, they don't know this dark skin is the shit. You know, they made me ashamed of my skin, man, growing up. Even my own people make you ashamed of your skin. And this the best thing going. You know, this the most I gave us the best. We got the best. All right, take you on the court, doing what he do on the dance floor. Jake is you know, light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. That's right. I'm the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua do all these things. His will. By the will of the Most High, say, I, Yahweh, do all these things. All right? Come on, through. So go ahead, brother. This is verse 29.
Why should we even complain when we are punished for our sins? Let us examine our ways and turn back to the Most High.
Right, we shouldn't complain. Book of Ezra 9 and 13. We don't have nothing to complain about because we're responsible for the position that we're in. All right? We broke the covenant. We transgressed. You got it? Read.
Ezra chapter 9, verse 13. And after all that has come upon us,
After all that has come upon us, read it,
for our evil deeds,
for our evil deeds. So we went off. All right? We transgressed. Read it.
and for our great trespass, seeing that thou, our God, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, has punished us less than our iniquities deserve.
So really, we ain't got shit to say. The Heavenly Father punished us less than our iniquities deserve. All right? So with everything that we done been through, it could have been a whole lot worse. All right? But the Most High, He showed mercy. And it's still showing mercy to this day because He's giving us this fruit, a chance in the place for repentance. All right? And to receive the salvation, that's through His only begotten Son. See, He didn't have to do none of that. You know, from John 3:16, it says that the Lord so loved the world, which is the world of Israel, that he gave his only begotten son. All right? The world ain't talking about everybody in every nation. But like somebody was going into to be saved, you have to be in immediate danger. Who is in immediate danger more than the children of Israel? Oh, the scripture specifically named us in Jeremiah 30:7 when it speaks about Jacob's trouble. So we need saving. It's our trouble, right? It's our calamity. We need the salvation. Esau sitting high on the hog, maybe not all of them, but that ain't our fault. Hey, you take that up, you know. Take that up with the elites when we get y'all in captivity. Y'all can whoop each other ass on y'all off time. You know, when we get to that sun come up, you on the clock, right? You know, but yeah, that ain't our fault. But these other nations, they doing good. Moab doing good. Maybe not all of them, but at the top, Israel doing good. Most I said we were gonna say Israel. You know, they doing good over there. Elon, Ammon, you name it. But the Israelites, we got a pot to piss in and all women to throw it out of, man. We ain't got shit. Our women ain't with us. Our children barely respect and listen to us. You know? Yeah, we just totally disrespected. All the way around. And the most trouble. You know, you go to a black neighborhood, you might not come out of that. You know? We need salvation. Right? But yeah, go ahead.
This is Lamentations in the GNT, chapter 3 and verse 40. Let us examine our ways and turn back to the Most High. Let us open our hearts to the power in heaven and pray. We have sinned and rebelled, and you, O Lord, have not forgiven us. You pursued us and killed us. Your mercy was hidden by your anger, by a cloud of fury too thick for our prayers to get through. You have made us the garbage dump of the world. We are insulted and mocked by all our enemies. We have been through disasters and ruin. We live in danger and fear.
Yeah, we live in danger and fear. I said we the garbage dump of the world. Damn, bro. Then for all that, we still punish less than our iniquities deserve. You know, because I could have just said, that's it, but just cut us off. But again, he gave us your house shot. That's good. Go ahead, brother. And that was the Day of Atonement coming up next week. Hey, that was the Day of Atonement. It should put you in remembrance and gratitude toward Yahweh Shai. All right? Because he was the ultimate atonement going up on that cross for us. So that's a day to commemorate what he does. You know, and the need that we have of him. Go ahead, brother.
This is verse 38. My eyes flow with rivers of tears at the destruction of my people. My tears will pour out in a ceaseless stream until Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, looks down from heaven and sees us. My heart is grieved when I see what has happened to the women of the city.
Go ahead, brother.
I was trapped like a bird by enemies who had no cause to hate me. They threw me alive into a pit and closed and opened with a stone.
And that goes to show you it's the Most High's anger that, you know, Esau is playing out. And that goes back to Psalm 17. It said they didn't have no reason to hate me. Well, that was the Most High's anger on them. Just as the Most High's anger getting ready to rest on us toward Esau and the rest of the people. Most High's going to put his anger on us. And we're going to rip, tear, and shred to pieces all of these wicked motherfuckers.
Right.
you know, and we ain't gonna have no remorse. We gonna be like souped up Jason. Michael Myers, you know, they don't give a fuck. That's how we gonna be. I mean, you ain't gonna stop the little children, whoever get. Yeah, just like when the Most High anointed Jehu, and the Most High told that prophet, when you anoint him, get out of his way. You know, he told him to leave. Yeah, that's how we gonna be. You know, Most High gonna make us, how I say, short dressing instruments. Right. Well, go ahead.
They threw me live into a pit and closed the opening with the stone. Water began to close over me, and I thought death was near. From the bottom of the pit, O Most High, I cried out to you, and when I begged you to listen to my cry, you heard. You answered me and told me not to be afraid.
To this day, with all the things that Most High through the Spirit has revealed to us that's coming, you know, we know about. Right. Yeah. What we got coming down the pike, the MOTB. Yeah, but right here, you know, martial law, right. Martial law, all of these different things that's coming, you know, the enemy coming in as a flood. We don't have anything to fear. All right? The Heavenly Father is not showing us these things for us to fear. He's showing us this so we can be informed. Pursuant to Isaiah 33:6, that knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy time and strength of salvation. So this is why he's showing us these things so we can be caught off guard. We can be secure. We can be secure in where we at and what we're doing. Because we know we are assured that the Lord told us this was going to happen. At the same time, that builds our faith. And the Lord said this was going to happen. As jumping off. No. So all this shit, don't get caught up in what Esau can do, because Esau can only do what the Heavenly Father allows him to do. Right? Esau ain't shit. Okay, go ahead. You got something?
This is 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 7. For Yahweh have not given us the spirit of fear.
Right.
But
the Lord didn't give us the spirit of fear. You know, scripture say in Revelation that the fearful unbeliever in the 21st chapter, I think that's about the 7th verse, it said the fearful and unbeliever, and they go on to list some other things, but it say they shall not inherit the kingdom. So that's how detrimental fear is. It'll keep you out the kingdom. You got it out.
Once again, 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 7. For Yahweh have not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind.
He gave us the spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. All right, to speak sound doctrine. All right, you see these bug outs teaching these way out doctrines, that's because the Most High Spirit ain't working with them. They don't have a sound mind. All right, you got a sound mind, you don't preach according to the word. As John 7:38 says, he that believeth on me, as the scripture has said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. All right? So,
Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 4. And the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
All right, so the he is in reference to an angel. The midst of the city is talking about the midst of the people of Israel. We'll go back from the top out.
Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 4. And the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, said unto him,
The angel, go ahead.
go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem.
Right, through the midst of Jerusalem, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and you Native Americans. Go ahead.
And set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
And that's the mark of truth, the mark of the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of these scriptures. All right? And so that spirit is at work right now. It's going through Jerusalem, and it's giving this truth to men that are waking up to Esau's bullshit. So that's what's going to make you sigh and cry. You know, this goddamn child support, I'm sick of this goddamn shit. Right? So, you might get it. You know? You got them black ass bitches, man. These bitches ain't worth for shit. Right? So you might get it. And that's why the scriptures say many are called, but few are chosen. You know? You know, whatever the case may be, you be sighing and crying, and that's who the angels look for to put the mark. Read it again, now.
Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 4. And the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
Right, and that's, you know, symbolic of, again, receiving this truth. All right? And Mark, that said, when we keep the Passover, and we read in the account about putting the blood on the doorpost, all right? It was Yahweh's blood that made this possible. So, in essence, the spiritual symbolism of this is the Lord's blood being placed on the doorposts of our mind to receive or to understand what the scriptures are saying. All right? So, you know, you be out here sick and tired of being sick and tired. And you might come across a video of the apostles, and then a light come on. And that's receiving that book. You know? But go ahead, bro.
Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 5. And to the others, he said, in my hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite.
The others, those who complacent here in Babylon, those that are settled on their leaves, they ain't got, you got a victim mentality. Right. Them the others. All right. The end of everybody that's happy, you know, they just the best shit going. Babylon's the best shit going. You can't tell them no different. They went and got all the juice they could get. They juiced up. You name it. They down with it. And what did he say to the others?
Ezekiel 9 and 5. And to the others, he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite.
And smite. So to the others, you ain't sighing and crying. You got a problem with none of this bullshit, these abominations. The elemental people, you ain't got a problem with grown big 250, 300-pound men sashaying. You ain't got no problem with none of that. You know? You ain't got no problem with Clarissa Shields challenging men to a boxing match. Right. You know? Women, how it go, women compassing a man, you ain't got no problem with none of that. Smite his ass. You know? Smite his ass. You a waste of breath. Right? You just taking up space. Read that again, huh?
Ezekiel 9 and 5. And to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite.
Go ye after him in the city and smite. Read on.
Let not your eyes spare,
neither have ye pity. See? And that's why I was saying how the Lord gonna put the Spirit on us. We're not gonna spare, nor will we pity. All right, we're gonna be just like the angels. Right? We're gonna carry out orders. We're gonna talk about your tears. We'll give a damn about, nothing you got to say. You tell it to the edge of my sword. Read, brother.
Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 6. Slay utterly, old and young.
Slay utterly, old and young. Then they oppress us and say they definitely oppress the ancient. The ancient, they had Jake out in the field till he dropped dead. You get no retirement back in chattel slavery. Get your ass out there. Well, that's coming back. All right? Be not deceived. Most High is not mocked. Right. Whatever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. That's Galatians 6 and 7. But read on, right?
Ezekiel 9 and 6. Slay utterly, old and young.
Old and young. Get slaves. Go ahead.
Both maids and little children.
Maids and little children. All right? A maid is an unmarried woman. And the little children. Go ahead.
And women.
And women. That's a married woman. Female. All right? So it don't matter. Virgin, married, young, old. Right. You ain't shining and crying, you gonna get it. And this is Jacob. This is talking about Israelites. Go ahead.
But come not near any man upon whom is the mark.
Come not near any man upon whom is the mark, which they're the ultimately be the elect. Right. All right? And this is the mark that you want. So now we're in the time of the mark of the beast. You don't want to have no participation with that. All right? Do not come near that MOTB. This is the mark that you want. So why? So why in the Hebrew means to make exempt from judgment. Now that left hand mark, prophesied in Revelation 13 chapter, is going to lead you into judgment, to the terrible judgment of the Most High. So Revelation 14 tells you that you're going to have your part in the lake that burns with fire and brimstone, and you get that MOTB mark. But this mark, if you get this mark, you have a shot at salvation. Anybody have anything? Go ahead.
And begin in my sanctuary. Then they begin at the ancient men which were before the house.
Oh, God say begin in my sanctuary. What that bring to mind? Anybody? What's that? Yeah, it's a scripture though. You know it.
First Peter chapter 4, verse 17. For that time has come, that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua power.
Yeah, I told you, you know it. You got to believe in yourself. Don't doubt yourself. Believe in yourself. Yeah, one more time.
First Peter 4 and 17. For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua power.
Right, and if this ain't the time, I don't know what is. You see Jake getting judged around the world. But it's only going to increase again. It's going to ramp up. Go ahead.
And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua power?
Right. The Heavenly Father was going to get his men in order. Then he's going to start punishing the wicked with 2/3. All right? And when I say the Most High get us in order, that I'm talking about that fire. He'll put that fire on our heads to get us No, we had impurities that we had to get rid of, strongholds that needed to be torn down. And so, we had to go through uncomfortable or come up through uncomfortable ways. Had to endure the discipline of the Lord. No, that ain't fun. But go back. That was that, brother. Go back. I mean, you hit that point again.
Ezekiel 9:6. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin in my sanctuary.
So the Lord said he begin in his sanctuary. Go ahead.
Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house.
All right. So that was the point right there, man. We shut it down right there. We pray that you brothers receive some edification from the message today. Before we go out, we're going to again give all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Kakadash.
the elders and apostles who pray those songs. Peace and blessings to God now worldwide. And to the good of the globe, preaching this gospel. Maximum Shalom.
Death to America.